Historical and artistic traditions. Written and oral traditions. West Africans created many proverbs, stories, praise songs, poems, historical accounts, genealogies, and folk tales. Scribes were responsible for memorizing important history, advising rulers, and retelling stories. When scribes told stories, the people listening would often join in. Scribes would also often act out their stories. Folk tales about animals were often the most favorite stories, like how the cheetah got its spots. They were very important to civilization because there was no written history for a long time. Later, the written information provided people with important details about West African heritage and culture. Writers like Joel Chandler Harris were inspired by ancient West African stories. Modern writers also build on these stories. Music. Much like music today, music in ancient West Africa communicated ideas, values, feelings, and also marked important events. Calm response, a style in which the leader sings or plays and others sing or play back, was popular in ancient West Africa. The balafon, bigoni, kora, drums, harps, flutes, xylophones, bells, and rattles were instruments used in West African music. The kora looked a lot like a sitar with lots of strings. The balafon looked like a xylophone with gourds on the bottom. West Africans were famous for drum music, which is also still popular in current music. They frequently used drums to simulate speech. These drums were called talking drums. The drums had cords that were attached to the drum head to create tension. By moving the cords and beating the drum head, the Africans could produce sounds of different octaves. The West Africans believed that spirits could talk to them through the instruments. West African dancers also used different complex movements while they danced to the drums. They would start a pattern with their feet, then they would add their hands, shoulders, and heads into the dance. West African dance style is still used in performances today. Ancient West African music influenced current music such as gospel, jazz, blues, rock and roll, rap, hip-hop, and dubstep. Visual arts. Visual art is still used for everyday needs and to honor spirits, ancestors, and royalty. Body art was used for identity and communication with spirits. Fabrics and baskets served daily needs, and other arts was used in rituals and ceremonies. Some examples of visual art are sculptures, masks, textiles or cloth, and everyday items. The sculptures were made of wood, metals, and ivory. West African masks were normally made of wood with very intricate carvings. Artists like Pablo Picasso, George Braque, and Henry Moore were inspired by West African visual arts. Today, modern art is inspired by West African art. For example, kente cloth is worn around the world, and basket-making techniques are still used today. Created by Aysha, or me, the narrator, Maya, the picture mover, and Emmanuel, the cameraman.